Hi, I'm Matt Cole. Welcome to the Hub Show from Fort William, Scotland. The RockShox Pike has become one of the most popular trail forks since the company reintroduced it to their range. And now they've released this, the Pike DJ, for dirt jumping and slopestyle riders. Stiff, light and built to take a beating, it's available in 100mm and 140mm travel options and is packed with RockShox technology, including their charger damper and solo air system. If you like going big, this could be the fork that takes you there. Fort William is world renowned for its brutal nature, packing in a whole load of rock slabs, rock gardens, big jumps and technical natural sections down its 2.8 kilometre course. Descending 555 metres, it's one of the longest on the circuit too. If you're planning on heading to Fort Bill or taking on your own aggressive rocky ride, either on your downhill or trail bike, we've got a few tips for you.
I'd say first thing would definitely be your tire pressure. And if you're used to riding your local trails and you run a certain pressure, maybe at a place that's really rough and really rocky, maybe just run 1 or 2 psi more front and rear, and that would just help save your wheels. If you're running tubes, it would help you from getting pinch flats. If you're running tubes, it might help you from burping your tires and losing some extra air pressure. So I would definitely say probably one of the more important things would be upping your air pressure in your tires. If you can run tubeless, if you're running a set of wheels that allows you to run tubeless, such as like the Mavic D-Max, that's definitely the way to go. You get a bit more durability. It's usually a little bit more user-friendly once you got them set up, and that would definitely be a bonus.
And do you need to worry about spoke tension before you head out?
Yeah, you should always, well, anytime you ride, really, that spoke tension should be something you should keep your eye on. But yeah, especially if you're going to some place that's really rough, long tracks. You know, like here, the track's over for 4.5 minutes long for the pros. So it's a long track. You don't want to have any sort of wheel issues halfway up and have to walk down. And it's also much safer to make sure that your wheels are straight and true and that you've got some good spoke tension.
And on a tough, on a rocky course like Fort Bill, everything's getting shaken around, bashed around. What's likely to be, loosening as you're coming down the course?
Well, yeah, definitely when you're at a place like Fort William, a couple things you can do before you go is, if you're riding a full suspension bike, if it's at all possible, go through all the hardware. If you got a linkage system, maybe take your linkage apart, put some new grease all the bolts, torque them all down. Make sure you check all that stuff before you go to the hill. And then after you've been there, maybe you've done half a dozen runs, you're taking a lunch break, just run through and do a bolt check real quick. Everything from your stem to your frame bolts, even to your axles, just to make sure nothing's shaking loose. Yeah, I'd say if you can, head down to the shop or go on CRC and get yourself at least a hanger for whatever model of bike it is that you're riding, a spare rear derailleur or rear mech, and if at all possible, a chain guide. Because a chain guide seems to be one thing that if you're running one and you damage one, it's just going to ruin your whole day or your weekend, whatever you have going on. Constant maintenance, a little bit of chain lube, just a little bit of care for your bike.
Right now I'm stood on top of the SRAM truck and it's nothing short of awesome. Travelling to races and events throughout Europe, it's the place where sponsored riders can come to for replacement parts and technical help. Chances are you're drooling already, so let's catch up with Todd, the guy who's in charge of this magnificent vehicle.
Hi, welcome to the race truck provided by SRAM. My name is Todd Anderson. I drive and run this truck, and just want to give you guys a little tour of the truck.
Cool,
so
let's go.
Come on in.
Thank you.
So this is where we kind of check in bikes if we're doing some work on stuff for people. We've got a whole line of bikes here that need to be worked on. The table here will get checked in. Bring your bike over here, and the mechanics will get to it as soon as possible. The messy benches is where a lot of the magic happens. The real magic happens inside the workshop. So we check that out. Yeah, so this is our workshop. We store all of our spare parts in here, and we do a lot of our black labs work in here out of the camera eye, so we don't let the spies see what we're doing. We do all of our rear suspension here. Nice clean environment. Dust-free. We have everything that we need. We've got our oils, our tools. We can drain all the oils out of the shocks here. Super nice for that. Again, this is where...
I've just seen the awesomeness tray.
Yep. If we need to get into some awesomeness, this is our awesomeness tray. Some riders come in, they're a little bit down, they need a little extra something. Over here we do a lot of our new Boxer charger work.
Okay.
If we're retuning a Boxer charger, we could do that here. Again, nice clean environment. We've got a vise here that holds the charger for us. All of our oils. Again, we have another oil drain here. So the truck is set up really well for all of our needs. Lowers are here. Pretty cool.
And how many would you bring typically to a brutal track like Fort Bill?
Fort William, I brought a good 4, 8, 12, 16. I brought about almost 30 lowers to Fort William. We won't go through all of them. I actually packed the truck for 2 events, Fort William and also Leogang.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that these are going to last through Leogang. We might have to get in another shipment.
And what sort of tools do you bring with you typically to...
It's a bike shop on wheels. So we've got all of the standard frame tools that any bike shop has. Some of them are out here on the bench here. Every bike shop needs a hammer. We also carry a nitrogen tank. The nitrogen tank allows us to fill up the shocks after we've done working on them.
Okay.
Digital gauge allows us to put in the exact amount of pressure that's required for them. Here's some of our black box black stanchions that we're running on some of our forks. This is actually one with a new charger in it. Super cool. We've got our handy lathe here. We actually use this quite a bit.
Okay.
Anything from modifying tools to fit a certain job to making mounting hardware for suspension. Do a lot of that here. Super handy to have it.
And how many people do you have working in the workshop on any race weekend?
Typically we'd like to have 4 technicians.
Okay.
And that includes John Cancelier, which he's typically in here working on suspension. That leaves 3 guys out front to handle everything else.
And what other kind of components do you carry around with you on the truck?
We carry everything, everything that SRAM makes. So that includes so Rock Shocks, Avid, and Truvative. So drivetrain, forks, brakes. Do a lot of brake work. Truck is really specialized for this style of work, and I've got everything compartmentalized. So this is our brake pad drawer. We've got a few other brake parts, but need some brake pads. This is where we get them.
And obviously Fort Bill is a brutal track, wrecking parts.
It is. This is a really tough one for us. Last year we went through almost 50 derailleurs. I think it was like final count 48 derailleurs.
Wow.
There's one rock up there. I swear I'm gonna go up there and remove it. One of these nights I'm sneaking up there. It takes out bash guards, chain rings, cranks, spiders, and especially derailleurs. It just eats equipment. This one rock. I was talking with Stevie Smith about it actually, and he knows about the rock. He tries to avoid it every time. He says there's just a set of roots that just pushes you right into it. And try as he may, he still is bashing equipment.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
And presumably you've got all the parts in a drawer somewhere.
We do.
You can just slap it straight on once it's broken.
We do. Derailleurs, we come into this drawer here. This is our derailleur drawer. When I started this event, these were stacked too high, kind of like this is here, too high with derailleurs. This is what we're down to. I've actually got more up top that we can pull from as well. So, that's our derailleur drawer, our dwindling derailleur drawer, shifter drawer. This is our cassette drawer, kind of cool. So. We've got the XX1 cassettes, our XX cassettes left over from the last cross-country World Cup that I did. Yep.
What's the weirdest mechanical problem that you've had to deal with on a race weekend? Has there been anything like out of the ordinary?
Weird things happen in bike races. A bike came in the other day. It was having shifting problems, but it was only down in the 10. And run through the gears, great, runs great, drop it down into the 10, and there was a click, tuk rhythmic. shift it back up, it's good. So, God, what the heck's going on? Look down into the cassette, and he had picked up a little magnet off of somebody's sensor, their computer magnet, and it had dropped perfectly in between the teeth, and it sat there.
Crazy.
How you could pick up a magnet on a downhill course, traveling at God knows what speed, I have no idea.
Mad.
Yep. Yep. So this is our kind of warehouse here. We're totally stocked with Red Bull. Red Bull is really awesome in helping us out. I tell you, I wouldn't be able to drive to half the events without having a Red Bull next to me. Working all day and then jumping in the truck driving, really difficult. Chimay doesn't help either. But yeah, it's a bit of a mess at the moment. The kitchen. So yeah, we're able to do some cooking in here when we feel like it. Refrigerator, and as you can imagine, mostly beer, but
Beer and meat.
beer and meat, yep. Good times. This is what it looks like. Normally it's a totally clean environment. We can come in here, have meetings, nice interviews, this kind of stuff, do a presentation on the TV if need be, but no. They've got their clothes scattered over everything. They've got their wheel boxes, tire boxes stuffed in here. Yeah, absolute mess. But hey, what are we gonna do?
That's life, isn't it? Yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
We've got all this space up top of the trailer. Why not make it an observation deck? So
Cool.
Yep. Let's check it
Take
out.
a look.
This is also our escape hatch. Sometimes we just need to get away, get some fresh air, come up and see what everybody else is doing. Yep. The Polygon guys across the way, we oftentimes will, have some wars, throwing stuff back and forth at each other. But they've got a hot tub on theirs.
Seriously?
They have a hot tub on theirs. Yeah. It's an inflatable hot tub
yeah,
towards
yeah,
the back
yeah.
there. Ah, devils.
Surely you've got to
Yep.
go one better, haven't you? Swimming pool, maybe? What are your tips for a rider that's stuck in a rut progression and confidence-wise, but wants to push their ride into the next level?
I think the best tip you can really have is just to ride your bike as much as you can. Find where your limit is and just probably have a few crashes while you're doing it. But like as soon as you find a limit, then just work on that.
Yeah.
And as soon as you just keep working and just keep pushing your limit further and further, you'll eventually get quicker and get out of the rut.
I think it's like anything, you got to take it steady and obviously get comfortable with what you're doing, and at some point in time you do have to kind of push the limits and the boundaries and go outside of your comfort zone a little bit and yeah, reach that next step you're trying to get to, and when that's comfortable for you then you keep kind of going like that. So
the main thing is kind of to be having fun with your riding, and the more fun you're having, like, kind of, I guess the less stressed out you'll be.
Just try not to put too much pressure on yourself. You've got to still, have fun and enjoy what you're doing. And I think, if you're riding relaxed, you've got to be nervous and you've got to be excited and you've got to want to do better, because all them things are what make you do well.
And who are the 3 top riders that have influenced you during your career?
Sam, G, and Steve. Those guys were always pinned back and they still pin now.
Yeah.
So it's amazing being on the same team as the guy who inspired you when you started on your early days. So yeah.
3 riders, probably Scott Sharples. He helped me out a lot when I was younger and getting started. People I looked up to, Steve Pete and Nico Vulio, so I'd say those 3.
When is Pagey going to get his own comedy show? Because Sean Clark says the man is a genius.
He is a genius. He just needs somebody with him with a camera all the time just to record all his stories, because he never seems to run out of them, and he can tell them over and over again and he's still laughing at them. So.
How many are X-rated?
Yeah, quite a lot.
Yeah, he's pretty funny. I guess being around the pits is our comedy show, so.
I think he's already started one, eh?
He started it
Just
50
need to
years
put him
ago.
on a bit of the videos that we do, and
Have
he's
you heard
already on it.
I've heard about these videos you all send to each other.
Yeah, we'll have to show you for it.
Yeah.
They're sensational.
Not sure about that. I think he might have been watching you on the Hub Show and maybe thinks I'm a 6'9" ginger, specky Welshman.
Right, great. Cut. In the last episode of the show, we gave you the chance to win a massive bundle of road riding kit in our Giro special. To see if you're a winner, simply click the link in the description below. And this episode of the show, we've got some money can't buy prizes. Kit that's been signed by Team CRC Nukeproof riders Sam Hill, Mike Jones and Joe Smith, including this Royal Racing kit, Nukeproof knee pads, and Sam Hill's signature edition 510 shoes. Simply click the link in the description below for your chance to win. I'm Matt Cole, that was the Hub Show. Thanks very much for watching. Don't forget to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and while you're at it, subscribe to our YouTube channel.
What's up, podcast?
What?
Got a very dry mouth.
By the way, this is all top secret stuff, so I hope you're not filming right now.
Okay, ready?
Go.
Press print again,
Yeah,
it just
and
prints
look.
it. Wow.
I know.
What am I saying?
Don't put that bit in.
I can see you grinning in the corner of my eye.